All right, let's dive into Epupa Falls. You're thinking about heading there, right? Want to know what makes it special?
Absolutely. It's more than just a waterfall. Nature, culture, it's really captivating.
Intriguing. So, Namibia-Angola border, Cunene River, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I've heard about the Himba people, but their connection to the place is a bit of a mystery to me.
Fascinating. They've lived there for centuries. Their lives are tied to the Cooney River and the whole landscape.
I see powerful forces at work here. But what about the geology? What makes Epupa Falls so visually stunning?
Well, the Cooney River, it's been shaping this landscape for ages, carving gorges, canyons, those dramatic cliffs around the falls.
Wow, like a geology lesson in action. And I'm guessing that shapes the ecosystem too. What kind of plants and animals are we talking about?
Oh, it's diverse. Towering baobab trees, some
Oh,
thousands of years old, unique birds. And if you go to Kagoland, you might even see desert-adapted elephants and lions.
the desert adapted elephants. That's a new one. How do they survive in such a harsh environment?
It's remarkable. They need very little water, and they find moisture-rich plants. Real survivors.
Okay, gotta see those elephants. But back to the Himba people. What makes their culture so unique?
One thing that stands out is their use of red ochre, a pigment they put on their skin and hair.
Yeah, those pictures are striking, but it's more than just decoration, right?
Definitely. It symbolizes earth and blood, essential for life, also connects them to their ancestors, and protect them from the sun and dryness.
Fascinating how it's both practical and symbolic. Okay, let's get practical ourselves. How do you even get to Epupa Falls? Not exactly a quick flight, is it?
You're right. Adds to its charm, though, don't you think? You could do a road trip from Windhoek, about 750 kilometers.
Okay.
Could be challenging, especially if you go through Damaraland, the scenic route.
Hold on, Damaraland. That's dramatic landscapes, ancient rock formations, maybe even those desert elephants along the way. The journey might be the highlight. But, road trips aren't for everyone. What's the alternative?
Charter a flight. Quicker but pricier, for sure.
So, adventure versus convenience, classic travel dilemma. Okay, so say we get there. When's the best time to see Epupa Falls?
The guide recommends May to September, the cooler, dry months. Temperatures are good for hiking and exploring. Water levels perfect for photos.
Makes sense. But I like a bit of off-season adventure. How bad are the hotter months?
Well, it's doable, but be ready for scorching heat and possible heavy rains. Those roads could get really tough.
So, cooler months are ideal, but hotter months could be a unique, though challenging experience. All right, what are the top things to do at Epupa Falls?
Exploring the falls themselves. A guided walk is highly recommended. Someone local who knows the geography, the plants, the animals.
Guided walk sounds great. And what about those Himba village tours we mentioned?
A chance to connect with a different culture. See their customs, their clothing, the red ochre firsthand. Hear their stories.
Wow, immersive. And we're in nature too. What about the wildlife? Anything specific to look out for?
Bird watchers will love it. African fish eagles, paradise flycatchers, maybe even a violet-wood hoopoe.
Bird watching and culture. This trip keeps getting better. Any good hiking trails?
Oh yeah. Hike along the riverbanks or up the hills for a panoramic view.
I can picture it now, standing on those hills, taking it all in. Okay, after a day exploring, how do you unwind at Epupa Falls?
Just relax by the Cooney River, listening to the water, sun setting over the landscape. Very peaceful.
Sounds like a dream, but we need somewhere to stay. What are the accommodation options?
There's a pupa camp with riverside tents and amazing views. They also do guided tours and cultural experiences.
Riverside tents. I like the sound of that. What about for people who want a little more, structure?
Omarunga Camp has cozy chalets among Makalani palms. Easy access to the falls. Rustic, but luxurious.
Nice. But what about budget travelers? Anything for them?
Definitely. Community campsites are a good option. Basic facilities, but affordable and surrounded by nature.
Great, something for everyone. Okay, before we get lost in the excitement, any essential travel tips?
Pack smart. Lightweight clothes, good hiking boots, hat, sunscreen. And plan for fuel and supplies. It's a remote area.
Good point. And anything specific to keep in mind when interacting with the Himba people?
Respect is key. Always ask before taking pictures and learn about their customs beforehand. Be a respectful visitor, not just a tourist.
Couldn't agree more. Anything else?
Be prepared for limited cell phone and internet access.
A chance to disconnect. I like it. Okay, before we wrap up this part, any nearby attractions worth checking out?
Rukana Falls is further down the Cooney River. Another waterfall, though maybe not as dramatic as Epupa Falls.
2 waterfalls. Sounds good to me.
And then there's Coco Land, the region with the desert elephants and lions.
Now that's an adventure. Anything else?
Don't forget the Kuni River itself. Canoeing and fishing are great ways to experience it.
Okay, adding that to the list. I'm feeling inspired.
Epupa Falls is incredible, isn't it? A hidden gem on that Namibia-Angola border. Waterfalls, landscapes, and such a vibrant culture.
We've covered the best time to go, what to do, how to be respectful, but this is just the beginning. Stay tuned for part 2 of our Epupa Falls deep dive, where we'll go even deeper into this remarkable place. Back again for more Epupa Falls.
We've talked about so much, the landscape, the Himba people, but I want to dig deeper, find those hidden gems.
Yeah, Epupa Falls draws you in like that, makes you want to explore more.
Totally. We were talking about the Himba people using red ochre. It's not just a
Yeah.
beauty thing, right? Can we get into how they make it and how it connects to their lifestyle?
Oh, it's really interesting. It's not just something they find. They crush this specific red rock, sometimes from miles away, and mix it with butterfat. Creates this paste. It's got this great earthy smell.
So it's a whole process. They have to know the land, find resources, shows how resourceful they are.
Absolutely. And the butterfat that comes from their cattle, which are like central to their life, provides food, their movements shape the Himba way of life. Really connected.
Wow, a delicate balance. I'm seeing why Epupa Falls is so special. Nature and culture in harmony for so long. It really is. Speaking of harmony, let's talk about the sounds of Epupa Falls. Just imagine it for a second.
Okay, I'm listening. The roar of the water, that's powerful.
Right, the heartbeat of the place.
Yeah.
But listen closer. The wind through the baobab trees, those ancient trees.
I can almost feel a breeze, the smell of the earth. What else?
The birds, so many different calls. A real natural symphony.
It's amazing how sounds can transport you. What about the sounds of the Himba people?
Think about the clicking of their jewelry as they walk, their voices telling stories, kids laughing.
A mix of sounds, nature, and people. I want to be there. Okay, let's talk food. What can we expect to eat at Epupa Falls?
Well, it's right on the border, so you get Namibian and Angolan influences.
Okay, I'm hungry. Tell me more.
In Namibia, you'll find pachiekos, a stew cooked over a fire in a cast iron pot. Meats, vegetables, local spices.
Wow, that's my kind of food. What about the Angolan side?
Angolan food is bold. They use a lot of chilies, garlic, ginger,
Hmm?
and being on the coast, there's a lot of seafood.
Fresh fish, Angolan spices, by the river, amazing.
Some places will include meals, but to really experience it, try local restaurants or even street food.
Love that.
Mm.
Okay, back to practicalities. What should we pack for Epupa Falls?
Pack light. Think about what you'll be doing. Breathable clothes are good, especially if it's hot.
Right, what about shoes?
Hiking boots are essential if you want to explore. And some sandals for relaxing by the river.
Got it. Anything specific to Epupa Falls, not your usual packing list stuff?
If you're visiting a Himba village, a small gift is a nice gesture.
Good idea. What kind of gift?
Something practical. Toiletries, school supplies, even fabric.
Okay, will do. It's all about being respectful. Speaking of, what about safety at Epupa Falls? Any advice?
Common sense, be prepared. Know the local conditions, respect the wildlife, take precautions. Like, there are crocodiles in the Kuni River, so no swimming in certain areas.
Good to know. Don't want to meet a crocodile. Anything else?
Don't travel alone, especially at night. Groups or a guide are safer, and you'll have a better experience.
Safety in numbers, and a guide can show you the best spots.
Exactly. And remember, there's not much cell service or internet, so tell someone your plans, just in case.
Safety first. Wow, we've learned so much. Himba culture, packing tips, safety. But there's more, right?
Of course. Epupa Falls isn't just surface beauty, it's history, culture, the environment, all connected.
I can't wait to explore it all. Back for the final part of our Epupa Falls deep dive. It's been amazing. Started with just some pictures, but now it's like a whole world opening up.
That's Epupa Falls for you. Always more to discover. We've covered a lot, but we need to talk about something else, something a bit heavier. Colonialism.
Yeah, you're right. Can't ignore that part of the story.
Well, the Kuni River, right? The lifeblood of the place. It was also used to draw borders during colonial times. And that separated communities, disrupted their ways of life.
It's true. Even somewhere like Epupa Falls, the past has an impact. What about today? How are the Himba people dealing with the modern world while keeping their traditions?
It's tough finding that balance. The guide mentions they're trying to make tourism work for them, sharing their culture, earning income. But they have to be careful.
Yeah, it's like that in so many places. Tourism's a double-edged sword. Sounds like responsible tourism is really important here.
Absolutely. It's not just looking from afar. It's about engaging with the Himba people and their culture and the environment in a good way.
So, how can we be responsible tourists? What does that look like at Epupa Falls?
Education is key. Learn about the history, the culture, the challenges they face. Choose tour operators who care about sustainability.
Making good choices, supporting local businesses, not harming the environment, making sure our visit is a good thing, not a bad thing.
Right. And it's about real cultural exchange. Like when visiting a Himba village, bring a gift, be humble, and really want to learn.
Be a guest, not just a tourist. Okay, so we've talked about respecting the people and the culture. What about safety? Any advice from the guide?
Common sense. Be prepared, stay informed, respect the wildlife, take precautions. For example, watch out for crocodiles in the Kuni River. Don't go swimming just anywhere.
No crocodiles for me, thanks. Anything else?
It's best not to travel alone, especially at night. Stick to groups or go with a guide.
Makes sense. Safer, and you get more out of the experience.
Definitely. And remember, cell service and internet are patchy, so tell someone where you're going when you'll be back, just in case.
Good reminder. Safety first. So we've talked about respecting the people, respecting the environment, staying safe. Anything else we need to consider about Epupa Falls?
Well, tourism isn't the only thing affecting the area. We talked about the hydroelectric power station on the Kini River.
Right, the Rakana Power Station.
It's a reminder that things are changing, there's development happening.
So how do we balance using the river's power and protecting the environment?
That's the big question. The guide talks about finding ways to balance economic development and conservation, protecting the Kuni River, all the plants and animals.
Finding that balance is crucial.
And we can help. Choose eco-friendly places to stay. Don't disturb the wildlife. Be mindful of our impact. Every little bit helps.
We're all connected, right? What we do matters. Epupa Falls is a beautiful place, a special place, but we have to take care of it.
Absolutely. Standing at the falls, the mist on your face, the power of the water, it's amazing. But we can't forget to respect it, protect it.
It's more than just checking a box on a list. It's about understanding what makes it special and protecting it. This deep dive, I thought it was just about a cool place to visit, but it's become so much more.
That's what travel can do. Open our minds, show us new things, remind us that we're all connected. Epupa Falls is just one part of the world, but it's a part worth knowing about.
So true. Thanks for joining us on this Epupa Falls journey. We hope you've learned something and that you'll explore the world responsibly and with a sense of wonder. Until next time, keep exploring.